Milwaukee or Makita 12-volt ratchet? Which one's faster? We'll find out in just a moment. I'm Tim Johnson. You're watching Shop Tool Reviews. Just a few short years ago, Milwaukee released their first M12 cordless ratchet, and not too long after that, they released the first M12 FUEL, meaning brushless, cordless ratchet. Well, Makita saw that and said, you know what, we can one-up that. We're going to release the new RW01 12-volt ratchet, which they claim to be the fastest cordless ratchet in the industry at 800 RPMs. Well, Milwaukee looked at that and said, you know what, we can one-up that. We're going to release the new 2567, and it's our new M12 FUEL high-speed ratchet. Now, this is only 450 RPMs, so is it as fast as 800 RPMs under load? We will find out. Let's take a closer look at these two competitors, and then we'll take it over to our test bench and we'll actually test these not only with the kitted 2 amp hour batteries, but we'll also step up to the 4 amp hour batteries in each one of the brands as well. Then we'll come back and we'll wrap all this up. Let me break it here really quick. We just got done testing, and I think you want to stick around to the very end because one of the last tests we do is very eye-opening and maybe something that I can say, I told you so. This is the Makita RW01, and it is their 12-volt cordless ratchet. Now it comes as a 3/8 and a 1/4 inch. And how does it do that? Well, it's got these anvils that easily pop out of here, and so I can pop out the 1/4 inch and I can put back in the 3/8 to easily convert that to either the 1/4 inch or the 3/8 inch anvil. Now they claim that this has 800 RPMs and 35 foot-pounds of torque. Now with the Milwaukee, which is the 2567-20, something they just released that they're calling their high-speed ratchet, this is also 35 foot-pounds but only 450 RPMs. Now I'm pretty sure both of those speeds are listed as like a no-load speed, so no load that's going to turn that many RPMs. We're really not going to test the RPMs, but we're going to test how quick they are under load, and we'll find out in just a moment. This is the 2567-20, which would be a bare tool. This is the RW01Z, which is a bare tool. I believe the T would be a kit, and then the -22 would be the kit for this. Price on these, $139 for the bare tool for the Makita. The Milwaukee is $179. The Milwaukee comes with a 5-year warranty, and the Makita comes with a 3-year warranty. We're going to weigh both of these with a 2 amp hour battery, so let's go with the Makita first. Makita is going to weigh in at 2 pounds 5.5 ounces, and the Milwaukee 2 pounds 1.5 ounces. So 2.15 for the Milwaukee and 2 pounds 5.5 ounces. And we want to look at grams. 1,060 grams for the Makita and 945 grams for the Milwaukee. So the Milwaukee is a little bit lighter. Now let's look at size of these. So the Milwaukee is going to be, with the battery on, right at 11 inches. So just over 11 inches, about 11 1/8. And the Makita, you're looking at a little over about 13.5 inches down to the tip of the battery here that sticks out a bit. About 13 for the tool and about 13.5 to the actual end of the battery. Now we're actually looking at the head configuration as far as width goes. You're looking at 1.2 inches for the Makita. And for the Milwaukee, about the same, 1.17, a little bit slimmer in the head for the Milwaukee, but not much, right at the same. Now, if you're looking at from the tip of the anvil to the back of the tool, you're looking at, looks like 1.5, so a little over 1.5 inches. And for the Milwaukee, a little bit shorter at 1.3 inches. On both of these, the direction is controlled from the head here. A little bit different, kind of a lever approach here on the Makita, where you flip it all the way over for one way and all the way over for the other way. Whereas on the Milwaukee, kind of standard style. What you'd see on some of the old ratchets is just kind of the flip it one way, flip it the other with the bar that goes across there to change those directions. Milwaukee has more of kind of a paddle plunger approach, if you will. So it feels like a paddle trigger where you can kind of grab this from anywhere on the tool, and you have a lockout here to lock out that button, and the LED right here behind the head that shines where your fastener is. On the Makita, again, you have the LED right up here near the fastener that's going to shine that light where you're getting at. And the trigger is more of a trigger style and not so much of a paddle, even though it is a little bit broader, so you can kind of get a couple of fingers or one finger, you know, depending on which finger you have down there. So there is a little bit of a range there where you can still get to that trigger, but it's not a paddle style. And then the lockout, you can lock out that trigger as well to keep that in your toolbox from banging around and coming on. Keep that tool from burning up the battery when you're not using it. And again, you got your LED here right on the end. Now let's go and use both of these tools on the test bench and see what we think. All right, the first test we're going to do, we're going to take the Makita and the Milwaukee with the 2 amp hour batteries, and we're going to tighten each one of these 24 millimeter fine thread fasteners. Going to see, combined the 10 fasteners in a row, which one can do it faster. Then we're going to come back and switch to the 4 amp hour batteries and see if we pick up any speed on each one of these and compare those. After that, we'll come back with our torque wrench and we'll torque these fasteners down to a specified amount and then see which one of them can break those free and how fast they are under load. Okay, first up is the Makita. And again, we've got the 2 amp hour battery on here and we got a full charge on it. So we've got each one of these fasteners backed all the way out till they're flush with the end of the bolt. We're going to run each one of these in as fast as we can, all 10 of these, and then get a number. Here we go. Go. Okay, we've got each one of them backed out. Let's switch over to the Milwaukee and turn my lock off here. And you see we have a full battery on the 2 amp hour M12. Put my socket on, and then again we're going to run these 10 fasteners as quick as we can. Get them in tighten. All right, ready, go. All right, that's the Milwaukee. Now you'll notice that on the Makita, I did like 8 fasteners, then I switched hands. So I made sure that in the middle, I also switched hands with the Milwaukee so nobody says, oh, you switched hands with one and not the other. I'll remember to start with my left hand on the next one, then we'll do all of them. But anyway, we still should get a good even number for that. Now let's switch to the 4 amp hour batteries and see if we pick up any speed. Okay, we're going to go back to the Makita, but we're going to take off the 2 amp hour battery and put on the 4 amp hour, which you can see here, full charge. Put our socket on, make sure we're in tighten. Okay, we've got each one of these fasteners backed out to be flush again. Let's see if we pick up any speed. Ready, go. There's the Makita with the 4 amp hour battery. Okay, now we'll take the Milwaukee and we'll switch out from the 2 amp hour to the 4 amp hour, which is the XC 4.0. Full charge on that. Put our socket on, make sure we're, yep. All right, here we go. Ready, go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tighten each one of these fasteners to 5 foot-pounds, which will give it a little bit of holding power, if you will, and then we're going to change these to reverse and see which one of them is faster at removing it at 5 foot-pounds and running the fastener all the way off. Okay, we've got our torque wrench set to 60 inch-pounds, which would be 5 foot-pounds. Okay, we're going to switch back to our 2 amp hour battery. On the Makita, we're going to switch over to loosen, and now we're going to see how quickly we can break free each one of these fasteners that are torqued to just 5 foot-pounds. Ready? Go. Okay, so I got those close to falling off. Not sure how tight this is going to be, but it's kind of hard to tell how far you've got that fastener backed out versus tightening them. But I wanted to do more than just breaking those free. So let's change over to the Milwaukee and see what we get there. We've got each one of these tightened to 5 foot-pounds. Okay, let's take the Milwaukee, see how fast it is. Go. And again, we have our fasteners tightened to 5 foot-pounds each, and we're going to switch over to the 4 amp hour battery on the Makita. Make sure we're loosen, and here we go. It was kind of hard to tell when those were backed off far enough. Obviously, I only got one of those that was completely backed off, so I stopped several of those short. Let's go ahead and compare the Milwaukee. Okay, got each of these tightened again to 5 foot-pounds. I'm going to switch over to our 4 amp hour battery. Ready, go. So did leave a couple just stragglers barely on there, but removed most of them. Definitely feels like the Milwaukee is quite a bit faster. Okay, now we're going to tighten these to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 35 foot-pounds and see which one of them will break all those free. Okay, we're going to leave the 4 amp hour battery on there because I think we're going to see something we may be a little surprised at. So again, these have been torqued to 5 foot-pounds, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 35 foot-pounds. I'm going to lay the ratchet here, let it do the work, and back off the 5 foot-pounds. Okay, no problem there. Now we're at 10. Nothing. Okay, now it broke it free after about 3 times. Now I'm on 15. Nothing. So I can help it and get it to break free. And now it will go. That's just at 15 foot-pounds. Now let's tighten these again. We'll torque them to 5, 10, 15. Get the Milwaukee and see what happens there. And remember, I'm still running a 4 amp hour battery. Okay, now we've retightened our fasteners again to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. We have the Milwaukee XE 4.0 battery. Still a full charge on it. We're in reverse. And all I'm going to do is pull the trigger. Okay, no problem on the 5 foot-pounds. Now 10 foot-pounds. 3 pulls, 4 pulls. So I've got a 4 amp hour battery on the M12 and I can't break free 10 foot-pounds. So yes, I could give it a little bit of a start and have no problem breaking that free. Now on the 15, same thing. I could help it a little bit and go on. That's my point on these. Let's wrap this up. All right, here's a little bit of an I told you so. Since the first cordless ratchet that I ever reviewed, I've been saying these are not meant to be impact wrenches. They don't have the power to do it. They're not right angle impact wrenches. That's why we have a right angle impact wrench, because these cordless ratchets just don't have the power to break fasteners free. Now you saw I took, our test rig and torqued those nuts down to 10 and 15 foot-pounds of force. And obviously I went higher, but the Milwaukee couldn't break free 10 foot-pounds and the Makita couldn't break free 15 foot-pounds. And that's what I think these cordless ratchets are great for. A little bit of manual help and then pull the trigger and run those nuts or bolts out. Now, as far as speed goes, that's where I think it's key in these tools. That's when I loved it when Makita came out with their ratchet and they claimed 800 RPMs, and it was a faster ratchet. Now, I don't think we're hitting 800 RPMs because Milwaukee only claims 450, and you see it pretty much, I wouldn't say smoke the Makita, but beat it in every obstacle along the way as far as the speed testing goes. Now, obviously, the Makita has a little more torque. Does it have 35 foot-pounds? Who knows? Does the Milwaukee have 35 foot-pounds? Who knows? But again, I kind of proved that it really doesn't have a lot of power to break things free. Now, as far as speed goes, what was interesting was neither one of these really picked up any speed by going to that 4 amp hour battery. If it did, it was very negligible on both, removing those fasteners as well as tightening them also. I mean, literally, I think one of them actually took a little bit longer, like less than a second, but still, I think you could say that they're pretty much the same, whether you're running a 2 amp hour battery or a 4 amp hour battery. So I think you're not going to gain any speed, you're just going to gain more run time if you need it, but these tools aren't really power hungry, so I think you could probably run for quite a long time on these smaller, slimmer batteries, so why not use them? Now, as far as price goes, the Makita is a little bit cheaper. It's $139 for the bare tool, where the Milwaukee is going to be $179. However, the one thing that's different on the Makita is the anvil change out. So you can change this out from a 1/4 inch to a 3/8. That seems pretty cool. It seems like, hey, not a bad idea to have 2 tools in one. However, I think that pro is probably going to say, you know what? I don't want to be fooling around changing out anvils every time I want one. Just give me another tool. So you could either buy another Makita or you could buy the Milwaukee and buy 2 of those as well. But the DIY guy, the guy at home that is using it on the weekends, things like that, then yeah, this is going to be great. Make sure you don't lose the anvil. Put it in the right drawer so that it's maybe beside your cordless ratchet, what have you. But again, I think this is more of a feature for that DIYer, not necessarily that pro. But who knows? Maybe a lot of you pros are going to disagree with me. Both of these are great ratchets. Both of them are fast. The Milwaukee's definitely faster. We proved that with the new that's the new high-speed ratchet. Now, their regular M12 FUEL is not going to be near as fast as this, but check both of these out. You can find them online or whatever box store you like to shop at. It's the Makita RW01Z and the Milwaukee 2567-20. If you don't mind, would you keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter? And if you like this video, could you give us the thumbs up? Also, hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. And if you hated our video, by all means, give us a thumbs down. But would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day and keep smiling.